It's roughly 100,000 years ago. You're a human, a small band of them, maybe 30, 40 people. You wake up at dawn, you're cold, you're hungry, and somewhere nearby there is a lion that is also hungry and has much better tools for dealing with that problem than you do. And yet, despite all of this, despite the lion, the hunger, the genuinely terrifying set of circumstances you exist inside, someone in your group is not running around trying to solve any of these problems. Someone is just sitting there, being important, and everybody else seems fine with it. How did that happen? Who decided? Was there a vote, a fight? Did someone just stand up one day and go, "I'm in charge now," and everyone looked around and collectively shrugged? Because the answer isn't what you think. And it's one of the strangest reversals in all of human prehistory. Here's the assumption almost everyone carries around without ever questioning it. The first human leaders were the biggest, the strongest, the alpha male, one guy, loudest voice, won enough fights, everyone else falls in line. Except when you actually look at the evidence, it doesn't fit at all. Anthropologists who study hunter-gatherer societies, the closest living window we have into how our ancestors organized themselves, find something that flatly contradicts this. Hunter-gatherer groups are, by almost every measure, aggressively, almost obsessively egalitarian. Not in a nice way. Not in a we value equality as a principle way. In a we will actively destroy anyone who tries to dominate us way. There's a term for it. Reverse dominance hierarchy. Someone hoards food, public mockery, exclusion. Someone acts like they're above others, relentless teasing until they stop. Someone tries to take by force. The whole group turns on that one person. The anthropologist Christopher Boehm called it the management of bullies. The default human social technology for most of our evolutionary history wasn't hierarchy. It was the active suppression of hierarchy. So how did anyone lead anything? You need to make a decision. The drought is coming. The game has migrated. You need to move. Who speaks? Not the biggest person. The one who has done this before. The one who knows where the water sources are 3 days east. The one who can read the sky, the grass, the tracks, and give you a real probability of survival if you go left versus right. Expertise. That was the first currency of human leadership. And crucially, it was non-transferable. The fact that someone is brilliant at tracking animals doesn't make them qualified to settle a dispute between two families. Leadership in early bands wasn't a position you held. It was a temporary grant of attention the group extended to whoever was most useful for the specific problem you were facing right now. Different crisis, different leader. This is so different from how we think about power today that it almost sounds fictional. But this is the model that worked for the vast majority of human evolutionary history. Then someone figured out a cheat code. Prestige. Two fundamental pathways to high status exist in human societies, documented across cultures all over the world. The first is dominance, taking status through force. The second is prestige, being granted status voluntarily because people want to learn from you, be near you, be associated with you. And prestige almost always wins in the long run because dominance is expensive. You have to be ready to fight every single day against every challenger. The moment you're injured or older or slightly slower, it's gone. Prestige compounds. People copy you. They bring their problems to you voluntarily. They defend you when you're not in the room. This is why in nearly every hunter-gatherer society on record, the highest status individuals are not the most physically dominant. They're the best hunters who share their kills, the storytellers who hold collective knowledge, the elders whose track record of good decisions has built up over decades. But then, roughly 10 to 12,000 years ago, humans start doing something they had never really done before at scale. They stop moving, they start farming, and everything changes because in a mobile band, you can't really accumulate. You carry what you have on your back. Everyone knows everyone's track record. Status manipulation is hard when you're surrounded by people who've watched you your whole life. Sedentary living breaks all of that. Now you can store grain. You can have more than the person next to you. And crucially, you can have more than you earned. You can inherit it. The moment inheritance becomes possible, you have, for the first time in human history, a mechanism for separating status from merit. A child can be born into high status. They don't have to demonstrate anything. The accumulated surplus of their family buys them authority before they've done a single thing to deserve it. We didn't start out with kings. We spent most of our history actively preventing anyone from becoming one. And then, in the blink of an evolutionary eye, we built entire civilizations around the assumption that some people are simply born to rule and everyone else is born to follow. The remarkable thing isn't that hierarchy exists. Given the sheer complexity of coordinating thousands, then millions of people, some form of it was probably inevitable. The remarkable remarkable thing is that somewhere inside us, deep in the social circuitry that evolved across hundreds of thousands of years of egalitarian living, there's still something that bristles at unearned authority. That still asks, however quietly, who gave you the right? That's not cynicism. That's the oldest version of you. The one who lived in a band of 40 people where power was earned in plain sight, trying to make sense of a world where it often isn't. And maybe that instinct, as ancient as it is still one of the most important things we have.